Oregon spent a program record 8 weeks at number 1 last season.
Overrated. Careful.
Might be a long one for the Wildcats.
Yeah, just a little advice, Northwestern. Just keep it down. All right, so again, 8 weeks at number 1 last year. Their lone defeat came in the playoffs to the eventual national champion, Ohio State. This year, they have the best point differential in the nation, plus 112. Plus 100.
Is that good?
It's better than good. It's good, Coach. What pops about this year's version of the Ducks for you, Coach?
Well, when I think about Dan Lanning and a coaching staff, Brady, it's one of the best coaching staffs in the country, if not the best. I went and visited them a year ago, and I was so impressed with not only the offensive and defensive scheme, is how hard Coach Lanning pushes the assistant coaches. His message is constantly, there's got to be a better way to do it. Let's find it. And creativity. Every time I speak to him quite frequently, I spoke to him Monday. You know the way the conversation always ends? What can we do better? What do you see out there that we're not doing? So the number one thing, they have great players, great scheme, but that head coach is always pushing that program to be the best.
Coach, you mentioned Dan Lanning, and one of the reasons that I admire Dan Lanning is he's injected a winning culture into Oregon. You talk about player development. Dante Moore, he sat behind Dylan Gabriel the entire year. Now he's the man with the plan here at Oregon. They have depth all over the roster, every single position, depth. And then you talk about the swagger, the culture, the toughness, the discipline that they play with. Coach Dan Lanning has injected a winning culture into this team, and Matt, it's sustainable. I think this team might be one of the best teams in the country.
The whole perception of Oregon in the past is kind of soft, right? And they're not tough. They can't win in the trenches, and Dan Lanning has definitely changed that. I also think it's just the combination of speed, the explosiveness of the skill players on both sides of the ball. You can look at that film, Brady, last week against Oklahoma State. It felt like every time they touched the ball, it was an explosive pass play or an explosive run play, but also can beat you in the trenches and win one of those dirty-type games. I love this team. Look, Oklahoma State's a good program. Maybe they haven't really beaten anybody yet, but I'll tell you what, the physicality, the talent, the speed, the coaching, this team's for real.
I'll just go ahead and say it. I think they're the best team in college football right now. From what I've seen on tape, this is the most complete football team. If you look at the trenches, the offensive line has not given up a sack yet. They're physical. They're better in the run game than they were a year ago. Defensively, Mateo Uyunglele already had 2 sacks on the season at 10.5 last year. They've got speed. They've got everything that you're looking for. And I think we kind of tend to forget. You know, this team last year, you arguably can make the case, was the second best team in college football. You know, they lost to Ohio State. They beat him earlier in the year. And, you know, ultimately, you know, it ended up being a poor performance. But with 18 new starters, this team is back. And they're led by a quarterback you talked about, Dante Moore. He sat, he watched. He may be making a case for himself and being a kid that we're talking about potentially in next year's draft. That's how good he looks on film. Reminds me a lot, Coach, of C.J. Stroud from Ohio State, how accurate he is. He can layer throws. His timing, his anticipation. They've got it all. So this is a team to look out for. And again, I know these guys are saying, who have they played yet? Look, Oklahoma State had a poor year last year. Mike Gundy's only had 2 losing seasons the past 20 years. So it's a little bit more difficult schedule than I think Northwestern's played, at least so far.
Northwestern's over here.
You got to give them credit, though. You got to give them credit. They're going to give it their all today.
They are strong.
Yeah.
They are. Small but strong this morning as the weather starts to clear here in Evanston. Good Hands Report is sponsored by Allstate, celebrating 20 years of the Allstate Good Hands Nets program. We welcome in our gaming expert, our college football guru, the Bear, Chris Felica. Bear, in your world right now, time is of the essence for Oregon. Why?
Yeah, tick, tick, tick. The clock is ticking. The Ducks have a couple of games the next couple of weeks. Northwestern this week, Oregon State next week. We're their big favorites. The time to buy on Oregon is now. If you're looking at Dante Moore to win the Heisman, Oregon to finish undefeated, Oregon to win the national championship is around 10-1. They're going to get a couple of wins the next couple of weeks, and then they go to Penn State. If Oregon goes to Penn State and wins as a slight underdog, all those tickets, all those prices are gone, sliced in half. So if you are a believer in the Ducks, the time to act is now, because they're going to be a massive favorite every game after that Penn State game. So if they win that game, there's a really good chance that they're going to finish the regular season 12-0.
I don't know how that Biff ball has the sleeves on the t-shirt, right? That's a mistake right there.
Yeah.
The good news, though, Dave sent a high-level replacement. He's more than just a meteorologist, guys. He is a Big Ten guy. He is a Barstool giant. He is the Big Cat. And, Cat, you know firsthand the challenges that are facing Oregon today here.
Yeah, so if you poll the entire country, they say, where's the toughest place to play college football on a Saturday? They'd say Death Valley on a Saturday night. They'd say Happy Valley for a whiteout. But I've had the long-standing belief that Evanston, Illinois, on an early kickoff is the sleepy spot that gets teams. 13 times since 2000 they beat a top 25 team. Now, unfortunately, I kind of dunked on myself with this because 6 of them were the Wisconsin Badgers where I went to school. But this is a spot, guys are used to playing in front of 100,000 people. They got the juices flowing. Then they come up to Evanston. There's 12,000 people. It can sneak up on you, so watch out. Oregon with a slow start. You can get into weird stuff here. Halftime comes, and oh, Northwestern's up 7-3. Didn't see that coming.
Okay.
I don't. Not many on this set see that
do you
coming.
see it that way, Coach?
Do you know about Sleepy Evanston?
Yeah, I've been here, but I've also been other spots. You come out and 4,000 or 5,000 people, and your team's used to playing in front of 100. I would always challenge our coaching staff because you need energy. If the players don't do it, it's got to be the coaching staff. That's when I would break a chalkboard. I'd flip chairs over, and I'd tell our staff to. People think pregame speeches are important in rivalry games or championship games. No. That's where you're doing this to your players because they're ready to go. These kind of games, you got to go bust a chalkboard, man. You got to get them ready to go.
I think if you ask David Braun, too, what he would want from the conditions, probably a lot of wind, probably try to make this a knockdown, drag-out fight, not allow Dante Moore and that talent to cast that around and get going. Problem is they're without Cam Porter today, their lead running back, so that could be tough, but trust me, Northwestern wants this thing to be ugly, windy, and a street fight.
And I promise you, they didn't cover the field. That's going to be a
So Martin Stadium is just behind us, 12,000 seat capacity.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here. College football on Fox.